Yeah, so we're here with Jeremy playing Avengers on Marvel Maximum Collection. I was getting there. And it's so fun to see games that I grew up playing in the arcades now available.
Yep.
Like, it takes me back also to the Xbox Live days, in the early days when X-Men was on there, Simpsons was on there, right? All these games that I grew up playing, available online. And you guys added online play to this as well.
Absolutely. Rollback netcode, online play, cross-play as well. There's a couple regional things that we're working out now. Apparently some regions have been experiencing a little bit of lackluster experience, but the Carbon team is already on that, right? They're working to make sure, like, what the heck's going on? But that's another important thing, right? We want to make sure that the fans of these can experience it the way they want to.
And the fact that these games have online now where some of them didn't have anything like that is like astonishing. It lets you recreate that arcade feel.
Oh yeah.
Being in the arcades, playing them growing up.
Personally, I miss those days too, where you could travel to your local arcade. Local is the key word.
Yeah.
And go in, throw in some money, get some tokens, and play some games. Now you kind of have to travel somewhere to get to a decent arcade. Like even here, Retroware has an arcade set up.
Yeah.
Imagine being, we're from North Carolina. I want to go to an arcade. Well, I can't necessarily go to Boston to play it at PAX, but it's one of those things that now it's in the present. And you can do it from home. You can do it with friends wherever they may be.
But the fact that it has both local and online is huge because most games have one or the other, or it doesn't always do cross-platform, which I know you guys do a lot when you can as well. Absolutely. Which is, I think, important this day and age. I don't think you can really release a game anymore without cross-platform support because it's just almost expected.
Yeah, one of my frequent Google searches are insert name of game, physical edition, to find out if it's physical, and then afterwards I'll go insert name of game, physical edition, and crossplay.
Yeah.
And also now it's recently cross-save. If I want to play it on another platform, can my save carry over? And I suppose that's the newest rendition of quality of life features that are coming about. But at the end of the day, it's still cool to see that functionality is brought forward, and the Carbon team thinks about that sort of stuff.
Also, what's unique to this is, like, when I think of Rewind, I think of like NSO and those classic Nintendo games and like single player games.
Yeah.
I don't think of Rewind in like multiplayer arcade games. And it seems like an obvious choice, right? Especially with the classics.
Yeah. No, I mean,
often just be the stage of Silver Surfer thanks to Rewind.
That's what I'm saying. Some of these games are extremely freaking hard.
Yeah.
And then also too, like, there's a generation now that's used to a certain type of game.
Yeah.
And this may come about and still be hard like it used to be.
Yeah.
So now this is a little bit of a, let's help you out. Let's that little bit of quality of life for more involved.
Well, what I like about it is that you give the option to the player. You can make it as hard or as difficult as you want, or you can just enjoy it and beat these games that you might have never beaten as a kid.
Yep.
So you give the options to the player, and so everyone's happy, and I love that.
Yeah. Imagine putting this out there, and then half of the audience being like, "What the heck is this?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?" They go into this and they give those considerations all throughout the entire development process to ensure that when this releases, it is on point, but everybody can enjoy it.
I mean, it's also clear that your preservation has been limited on mission since the beginning, and I feel like with every one of these collections, we get closer to actually being able to access all those things that we couldn't anymore.
Yep. I have been saying it a lot recently at our retail store. Someone had traded in a game and they cashed out at like $2,500. And it's just like, why is this game that much money? But I remember it as a kid renting it over and over again. That sort of thing you can't necessarily preserve if it's locked behind a high price tag.
Yeah.
Or maybe the license just ran out and it no longer exists. Right? This is how you do it. If you don't do it right, you're kind of assed out. You'll not be able to enjoy it the way it is. Let alone having to go third party. You're seeking out somebody selling it on eBay, or maybe you already own it but you don't have a CRT TV. Oh, is that redundant? CRT. You don't have a CRT to plug in your retro console to play it authentically. You gotta find an adapter.
Yeah.
So a lot of that stuff is in consideration and brought forth and put through into this collection. The awesome thing is that talking with the team at Marvel, they're just as passionate about it.
That's awesome.
Like to speak with them and have such like natural conversations. They love the product. They love the franchise. It's like, thank you, because you gotta love what you do, because that cascades into the end result, which is fans buying it.
Yeah.
So, is there a game that didn't get to make this collection that you're hoping can make a possible future collection?
So the answer there is yes. We see so many comments online. I can't name. My memory's shot anyway, but there's so many that get brought forward. I'm just personally happy for MaXimum Carnage, but there's enough being listed online to justify. Why don't we do a second volume? Which would be really cool. No promises on that, but at least it starts with a discussion point.
Yeah.
Side note, they can name drop Living Laser, Claw, and Wonder Man, but they'll call a Sentinel giant robot.
Licensing is wild.
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know this could happen in Silver Surfer.
I've never seen that screen before in Silver
What is
Surfer.
that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a hieroglyphic.
It's wild in the NES days, Silver Surfer qualified for their
Own video game, yeah. Yeah.
Also, speaking of things that have made it onto here, as somebody who grew up with a Game Gear, not a Game Boy, as somebody who grew up with a Game Gear, I appreciate that you got what versions you could on this collection, and that includes at least one Game Gear version.
Funny you say that. I never had a Game Gear growing up. Now I can play at least a game on there. But also, I didn't know those games existed on there.
I mean, I had all three of the X-Men titles, Mojo World, Game Master Legacy, that was my Marvel time growing up, watching everyone play Arcade's Revenge, Maximum Carnage on their big 16-bit whatever. I just had what I could. And so that's my nostalgia, and this is my getting to revisit it here.
It's all I want to hear. It's not like you're appreciating it, but it's something genuine that you cannot match that's coming from within. And I think that is necessary for the future. You just need to have retro throwbacks coming in and taking over everything, because that's when things were, not want to say perfect, but to everybody growing up, they were perfect.
Yeah.
They were. And there are plenty of games from those times that some of them they are good games, and we should remember them.
Yeah.
Some of them they did the best they could in the time. They're flawed, but we shouldn't forget them. The amount of indie titles that come out nowadays that when we cover them are basically I remember when we talked about Infernax years ago, hey, remember Castlevania 2? What if it was good? And there's so many titles that those are worth bringing forward, and if we forget them, just because they were licensed, just because they were, whatever it was, that preservation is important, and that nostalgia is just as good. If a collection like this, you get in on one game and you get to see the others, and it gets us thinking and it gets us talking. They should stay in the conversation.
100%. It's history. Stuff should never be forgotten. And this is where games came from, right? And something of even Silver Surfer, something in there had to have inspired something else, and that was inspired by something else, right? That should never be lost, right? It's history. Let's keep it real, and the key word right there, preserve it.
So before we wrap up, two things. First, I need to know, what's your favorite kind of pie?
No,
Not that one anymore?
It's
I'll tell you.
in your
the answer.
heart of hearts, if
My
you
heart of
have to
hearts?
choose cake or pie.
Pie,
That's the correct answer.
key lime specifically.
The very correct answer.
Yep. Secondary, lemon meringue.
Okay, ooh, good one.
See, my top three, you'd have to include banana cream.
Oh, that's a good one too.
That's a good one too.
My third one though is probably apple. But my nanny, I miss her so much. She would be the one to have to make it.
Yeah.
So it can never be a third place.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry.
There you go. And then, if you could quickly say your name, who you work for, and happy gaming. It's a sign off for our podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My name is Jeremy Campbell. I work for Limited Run Games. Happy gaming.
Rock and roll.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time, Jeremy. This was wonderful.
Thank you.